Hi there. It's December the 23rd, and we're continuing our journey through the revelation of John, the revelation of Jesus Christ. And we're in chapter 14, reading the whole chapter from verses 1 to 20. So things are really building up now in this whole unfolding story that John sees of the things that are going on in heaven and on earth, the things that were and things that are and things that are still to come. And at the beginning of this chapter, John sees the Lamb of God standing upon Zion. Now, Zion is obviously connected with Jerusalem. And remember, John is writing this in Patmos. He's away in Greece in the Aegean Sea. But still Zion, the whole place of Jerusalem in the unfolding presence, the whole unfolding plan of God is very important. And so he looks to see the Lamb standing upon Mount Zion, upon the city of David, and with him are 144,000. Now we've already had the 144,000 earlier who were redeemed out of the tribes of Israel, but this group is now qualified even more by saying that these are virgin, that they are completely, in that sense, dedicated, given over to God and to the Lamb. And they have no connection, no relationship with women on earth. They have no connection with anyone else. They are committed and given wholly to the Lamb of God. And they have in their foreheads a mark, rather like whereas the monster has put the mark of the beast, as it were, in the foreheads and on the hands of the people on the earth who've given their worship to them falsely. So here, the mark of the Lamb is on the foreheads, and the mark of the Father is on the foreheads of those who belong to him. And these are without spot, it says, without blemish, and they follow the Lamb, it says, wherever he goes. These are those who are committed, these are those who are dedicated. And then, so there's this sense of the Lamb is in the field, as it were, and his people are in the field. There's an engagement here. He's not just leaving the earth to the monster. And then, as John continues to look, he sees angels flying in the heavens. The first angel is calling for worship, whereas people have been giving their worship to the Lamb, they've been giving their worship to the monster and to the beast. Now, God is calling for their worship. This angel says, worship him. He's the maker of heaven and earth. He's the maker of everything. Here's a chance to respond and to give themselves. And then another angel says, look, Babylon is fallen. And Babylon, of course, stands for the Republic of Man, stands for mankind organizing themselves without God, organizing themselves under the monstrous tyranny of the monster and the beast, giving themselves to Satan. And but the angel announces this Babylon has fallen, it's finished. There's nothing worth pursuing in it anymore. And then another voice comes from heaven saying to the angel, put in your sickle. And he sees actually it's not an angel here. This is the Son of Man who comes, and the Son of Man has a crown, and he's on a white cloud, and he's ready to put in the sickle of harvesting in the final harvest. John reminds us in the middle of this chapter actually that there's patience called for from God's people. There's a real battle going on here, and God's people are commanded to keep patient, to keep persevering. And actually God also says that there's a blessing on those who die in the Lord, because they will rest from their works and their works will follow after them. So the angel is ready, or the Son of Man rather is ready to call to put in the sickle and to reap. And there's something a finality coming about this whole episode. This is the day of the Lord, the one that's been promised, the day Jesus spoke about when there would be a final analysis. And the picture is very powerful. It's the picture of a grape harvest, and the grapes are put into a wine press, and the wine press is the wine press of God's justice and God's anger, and it's pressed down and blood comes out of it. So a picture of there being war and warfare and violence and anger, all of those things that spill out, because in this harvest there's a separating, and God is taking at last the justice that in the earth that he has promised will come. So we can see here in this chapter there is an unfolding purpose, that it's coming towards the denouement, and what we're working towards, it's not God being angry for the sake of being angry. It's not God pouring out his wrath. God is intent on bringing justice, on pushing back chaos. God is intent on bringing equity to the earth, and of course intent on recreating the earth and recycling the earth for it to become the new heavens and the new earth, for heaven and earth to come together, as we're going to see in a few chapters. Have a very good December 23rd.